just gonna go ahead and get it started, bro. That's what we gonna do. Hey, episode 140.
Show is.
Porch. I can't rap no more.
The VMAs, huh? We competing with the VMAs?
Now we ain't competing. We just on at the same time.
Okay, I like how you said that.
Yeah.
I like how you
We
said that.
us. Yes. Consistent. We got to keep going regardless of what's happening.
No question. Absolutely no question.
Right.
New week, new episode. Let's get it.
Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother Man.
P original, baby.
All right, let's put his right
Welcome
shit
back.
up there. This is the Porch Podcast, man. This is the Porch Podcast. This episode 140. We like to call this one "The Power of Love." Yeah, bro.
Luther
Vandross. You know how it go.
I sure do.
Yeah, so we're going to flip it and bounce it a little bit here. I'm going to ask you this, bro. I'm going to ask you. You know?
I like it.
How was your week? We always talking about mine. And I was busy.
Right.
Let's tell me about yours. That's all.
Right. So my week was cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
This last Tuesday, got excited about football.
Right.
Had a great football weekend. You know, got some kickback, relax time, which that sometimes can be very hard to acquire.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
but
sis.
I got a chance to be able to relax. Hey, what's going on, sis? Welcome to the show. And everything was smooth, man. Other than that, no complaints, brother. Here we are, 1 week later, blessed and highly favored and ready to go.
Right.
I'm good to go, brother. So that's how I've been, man. How about yourself, bro?
I've been all right, you know.
That's good.
I've been all right. And, I've been chilling and making sure everything is right, you know. Quick question before we actually get all the way into it. I was asked a question yesterday.
Okay.
Do you think that 9/11 should be a holiday?
I think it should be recognized for the tragedy of it, but not. I wouldn't consider it a holiday. Probably because I'm thinking from the perspective of holidays seem like something to be celebrated, and I don't see that being something to celebrate.
Well, when they asked me that question, I said yes, but it's more so of how we do, like how when we do Memorial Day. You know what I mean?
More recognition than anything else.
Yeah. Memorial Day, remembering the soldiers that we lost. So this will be remembering everybody, any first responder that was a part of, whether they were at the Pentagon, whether they was at the World Trade Center, remembering them and honoring them and their family, but not, like you said, not celebrating the tragedy. So I think that will fall in line with the same thing of that, Right.
Yeah, nah. A lot of stuff like that takes place, man. And what we do is we recognize it. And all of it is recognition, regardless. You know what I mean? Whether you celebrate a particular holiday, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, you recognizing family and the opportunity to come together and all those things. They all have something to do with recognition. But that's a legitimate question. And I guess it depends, man. Me personally, me and you view it the same, I think similarly, from the perspective that we're not celebrating it, but we are acknowledging that it happened and acknowledging, those who were responders and those who actually perished, unfortunately, in that situation.
Absolutely.
Other than that, but how was your weekend, man?
Busy, celebrating, happy,
Okay. Okay.
Oldest turned 18. Let's go ahead and clap it up for that.
All right. Happy birthday, Nisi.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
Youngest had her first cheerleading game. She had to cheer. Go ahead and clap
Come
that
on,
up.
come on now. Come on.
So that was my highlights right there.
Yeah, ain't that something, man? How we get older and the highlights become more about recognizing what the family's doing. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's cool to recognize the things that we had, accomplished for ourselves, but recognizing what the family is doing is the highlight of our day.
Our day.
In our life.
Yeah.
Well, that's something special. Let me know about this thought of the day, brother. Let's set the
Okay.
tone and let the people know what's going on, man.
So the thought of the day. First of all, before we get into the thought of the day, we got to remember to show y'all once again the name of this episode is Power of Love. Okay?
I
Right
was
here in the
love.
Porch Podcast. And let's just clap it up one more time for episode 140.
How about that?
You know
How
what I
about
mean?
that? How about that?
Right. How about that? Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at them mugs right there. Look at them mugs right there. If you can't see, if
Absolutely.
you know, it's
Absolutely.
funny. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
quote of the day comes from, this is the quote of the day here. It says, children have never been very good listening to their elders, but they never fail to imitate them. They must. They have no other models. And that is from the great James Baldwin. Let's clap it up for him.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to say it one more time so people can see it and let that sink in. It says, children have never been very good listening to their elders, but they never fail to imitate them. They must. They have no other models. Again, by the great James Baldwin. Well, now, when you hear that right there, bro, what is the first thing? I'm not saying, I can't say the first thought, but like, what is the first, I guess I have to say thought, or form of energy you feel when you see a quote like that?
As a parent,
Right.
right? Because it was easy. You come into the world as a child, but as a parent, I feel like I need to make sure that I'm mindful. Not that I wasn't before, but that quote alone makes me make sure I'm mindful of not only what I'm doing, but how I'm doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like what it does for me, is because, like you said, dealing with a form of imitation, you imitate what you see well in advancement before you understand what it truly all means, especially as a child.
Right.
So, if you cuss, let's using that for an example, your children will cuss.
Right.
The only difference in that situation is you may be in a perspective where you may cut it off at a certain point in your children, like, it's what I know, it's what I see this person doing, and that's what I'm going to do. So it just makes me a little bit more cognizant of the things that I show, whether it's my children, anybody else's children. It could be somebody looking up to us, man, and we don't even know them personally, brother. They don't have a role in our life. But I just think from the perspective that when you hear something like that, it just makes you a little bit more aware of what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Right.
That's how I feel.
And when I seen that, as a parent, like you said, it does that. But when you, as a spectator, when you sit back and you watch, you know what I mean? Peace, cuz. Love you too, cuz.
Peace,
you know
family.
what I mean?
Always love. You know that.
So at the end of the day, I look at the situation and I say, everybody, you've always heard me say, people tend to often become a product of their environment.
Absolutely.
But as a young age, we tend to latch on to someone fast, whether it be your sibling,
Yeah.
your father, your mother,
Yeah.
but somebody.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And what it is regardless of person. See, this is the thing, as people don't understand. We often say that we know that hate is taught, right?
No question. No
but
question.
But love is natural, because
Okay.
love is a ball of energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when a person starts to learn love in a different light and in a different way, they often don't understand it because it's not the same for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But besides the fact that, like James Baldwin said, that people imitate their elders, I think people imitate the ones they love the most. That's who I think people imitate
Of course they do.
in their own way. So that's why you can see that a person is themselves, but their characteristics and their character is built from their environment that they're often around.
No question.
So
No
it's
question.
almost smart to have you want to have not just your children, but as husbands, your wives, you know what I mean, in a loving environment. And wives, the same thing. You want to have your husband in a loving environment. And that's how you get love. Being somebody who understands love and holding love doesn't mean make you soft or make you not understand. Like I can't remember the movie was. I think it was Get Rich or Die Trying. Show no love. Love will get you killed.
Right.
But that wasn't love. See, people used to mix up a lot of times in the street somebody that they did business with that might have taught them the game. I mean, they might have had a genuine, they might have had some love for them. They wanted to see the person succeed and everything of that nature. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, that really wasn't love. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
time, your love comes from somebody that's real love that don't want nothing from you. They just want to
No
see you
question.
win.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know
yeah.
what
It's
I
not even
mean?
close. Yeah, yeah. No
Right.
question, man. Yeah.
So
Johann Wolfgang made a statement, man. He said, "Love does not dominate; it cultivates."
here it is.
So
Wait,
when
wait,
a
hold on.
person,
Say that one more time. Love does not dominate; it cultivates.
right, right, it
That's
does
deep.
not dominate; it cultivates. So,
That's
so
deep.
when you cultivating something, when you're creating something, when you're raising something, you know what I mean. Thinking about cultivate, when you cultivate something, when you think about a child, or someone that looks up to you that gravitates towards you for different things, love, affection,
Hmm.
information, wisdom, encouragement, and support, and all those different things. When
Right.
you start to realize that there's certain people that you can go to for certain things, you understand that there's different forms of love.
Right.
You've heard statements, love is an action word. This is why you always hear certain things like tough love or
Hmm.
real love or, hard love. These are always words that's going to come into the situation that gives it some extra energy. But love is what it is,
Right.
right? And it comes in a lot of different forms, like we talked about. I had a conversation, good friend of mine, what I mean, family, like family. And she was telling me she had a conversation with her nephew. And when she was having a conversation with him, it was in regards to him not doing something or handling something correctly. Understanding that she had an opportunity to either make matters better or make matters worse. The love that she had for him was able to go ahead and push to the side what the normal thing would have been like, oh man, you ain't check that, you ain't jump on that, you ain't, you know what I mean? Whatever, you ain't punish him, you ain't do this. And took the time to be able to explain why the actions, although had good intent, wasn't the right
Primo.
thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that situation right there isn't direct situation of showing love. That's a nephew. It's not a
Right.
son. It's not a, you know what I mean? It's a nephew. That's what I mean about the situation, like you're saying, bro. When you think about what the quote, I mean, the thought of the day was in terms of children and them paying attention to us and us setting the standard of certain situations.
Absolutely.
When you do enough good, no matter how bad a person may be, they're going to absorb some of it.
Yeah. That's deep. That's where you're going with it. That's deep. And really, besides that too, it's like this is why we when people pay attention to us. You have people might come up to you. Oh, you sound just like your dad.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or in that aspect, you just like your mom. You know what I mean?
Primo.
You know what I mean? You got people saying stuff like that. Everybody. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is. And my kids, I see their mother all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All
Of
the time.
course. Of course. Of course, man. And that's a reality, right? So it's funny, right? We talk about the power of love. And I have to bring this into the equation because I just want to throw a little bit of clarity into it from my
Right.
perspective on how I feel.
Right, cuz.
How I feel.
Right, cuz. Just looking at cuz comment. But go ahead. Tell me, go ahead and say what you're saying.
From the perspective of terms of endearment, right? Or certain things that's said for the purpose of being viewed as a term of endearment. If you love somebody, call them by their name. You understand where I'm going with that. If you love someone, call them by their name. There are things that we say, whether it's in our community or in other communities, that we look at and we have claimed these names as terms of endearment. And I say that because I got love for you. If you got love for me, call me by my name, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that because when you see certain things developing, the reason why love is challenging sometimes is because when you're not calling the person by their name and who they are to you, mom, dad, son, daughter, brother, sister, you understand what I'm saying? When you're not calling them by their name, it makes it tough to love them. It makes it tough for them to love. Like I look at. I know it seems like it's kind of left field, but let me bring it full circle. If you got a situation where you understand that in this environment there's a slang terminology or there's a word that's being used that will tear down the character of a person, right? Make you look bad. It's a negative connotation that's attached to the situation. And if we teach that it's acceptable in certain environments and it's love, how is it that when you go in other environments, you also teach that if someone was to call you a certain name, that is hate? We confuse ourselves so much because of the fact that we make it more difficult than it needs to be. Well, if we just simply called each other by our names, I think the love would be different.
Right.
Right? Somebody said something to me and I thought it was awesome. Quick statement. And I'll make that to you and you let me know how you feel about the situation. They said it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to.
Right.
It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about love and you think about helping people and you think about, you know what I mean? Like I said, once again, love should not be, it's not about dominating, it's about cultivating. Call them by their names.
Mm-hmm.
Establish the identity of who that person is to you. If it's your son, son, let me talk to you. Why do you think our older or our seasoned family members look at you and say, son? Whether it could be a woman, a man. Oh, son, you all right today? They're not sunning you when they say that. They
Oh
looking
no,
at you
I
because they
ain't.
have it.
No, I ain't never.
Yeah, you feel me? I'm going with it. They're not sunning you when they say that, bruh. They saying that from the perspective of they want you to understand that, yeah, I might be your elder, but I'm concerned about you. I do have love for you.
Right.
Call them by their name. How do you
Right.
feel about the concept of that situation, though, what I just said, though, bruh, from the perspective of it's not about what they call you. It's about what you answer to.
Oh yeah, I've been like that my whole life. You talking about somebody, bro, who's been dealing with the general public for a lot of things all the time. I've been around a lot of situations that may seem racist, that may be flat out blatantly racist. I'm called a lot of different things in a good way. Some people just label me as DJ. It's a title of mine. Just like if
Mm-hmm.
you're a son, that's still a title. It's a form of a thing. But somebody might say
No
DJ.
question.
An elder may say son. Um, you know, people call me Eric. People call me E. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
some. It's just like how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't demand a certain form. I feel like they're all. I feel like I know when you're disrespecting me.
Right.
So
You
if I
know when
feel
ain't no love there. Ain't no
right,
love
yeah,
there.
because again, I'm always a vibe guy, so it's all energy with me.
Right.
So I feel it before we even got to say it. I know when
Right.
people energy is off. I know when
Of
people
course.
energy be off. I'll be like, okay, and I know when they expect me to be off. That's when I stay on.
Mm-hmm.
Never lines. You know what I mean?
Never
Never
was even
lines.
speculating. It
Never
was never
lines.
questioned.
I'm just saying.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
know what I
Peace.
mean?
You know what I'm saying? Peace, big bro. I don't know if you saw it or not. Tonight's start of the day. I mean, today's start of the day was about your man James Baldwin, man. you know, the master, the master.
James
There it
Baldwin
is, right
said free. James
there.
Baldwin said children have never been very good listeners to their elders, but they never fail to imitate them. They must. They have no other models. We're going to go ahead and clap it up again
Once again,
for the late, great James Baldwin.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So like you saying, I see it right there. Like you saying there, free. You know what I mean? You said it's both respect. Oh, okay. It's both. Respect is greater than love.
Yeah.
Yet love is grounded in respect. And as the God supreme man said, love is supreme understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Or another note, I'm not the N word and I don't allow that, nor do I answer to that. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And
Absolutely.
And the reason why we brought it up tonight, in my opinion, in connection to the concept of power of love, is because the more that you illuminate the things that make it confusing
Right.
and you rectify those situations and give it clarity, the
Right.
more people will understand where it goes south and where it goes wrong.
Like just to finish elaborating what you were saying about it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. You
Absolutely.
know, I'm naturally wired. Where I was really getting with it though, bro. What I've established in life, and I've
Mm,
really learned about myself, is I know exactly. I know who exactly I am. Like
mm-hmm.
nobody in the world can tell me different from who I am.
Absolutely.
I already know that about myself. So
Absolutely.
when somebody calls me something that I'm not, my mind doesn't even hear it. It just goes right through the other side. Even if you trying to disrespect me, I hear it, but I don't let it control me to the point because I know who I am. So if
That's right.
somebody wanted to call me a nigga, right? I'm gonna just go ahead and say that.
Nope.
I
This
already
where
know
you
I'm
do
a
it. Yeah.
king. I know I'm a king. I don't have to worry about it because I don't respond. I don't respond to it. I just be like, "What's good, bro? How you? You know, everything is cool." You know,
Mm-hmm.
because even sometimes accepting, see, like you just said, is what you answer to.
Right.
Answer to it is accepting it and it's giving the person control. And even if you're trying to prove a point to them, it's still gonna take more than your word. You're just a part of it. You're a jewel that's
Mm-hmm.
helping that person realize who they are. But I
Mm-hmm.
just know because of the fact I learned exactly who I am and I know exactly who I am. Period. This is
Mm-hmm.
why this quote is there. Children have never been very good to listening to their elders. So if somebody doesn't respect me and I'm trying to explain something to them, they ain't been never good at it. But if I constantly show them, but they never fail to imitate them, who I am as a model, they could be great and be a king just like me. Let's go ahead and clap it up for
Absolutely.
myself. Clap it up for myself with that one.
I'm
I wanted to
surprised.
do that one. Yeah, because
I
I
was
know
about to
who
say,
I am.
no, it's absolutely fantastic. And
Yeah.
like you said, though, but see the thing about it, like you said at the end of that particular quote by James Baldwin, he said they have no other models. Sometimes in life when you only are privy to one particular thing,
Yeah.
what you find yourself is trying to determine whether or not the only example you have is really an example at all.
Right.
Or is it just a thing that's in front of you? It's like anything else. Without variety, you won't know what's good, what's bad until it's next to something. Sometimes in life, you can look at the only thing that you have and say, no, this can't be the right way to do this.
Mm.
So I think that if that's the case, just responding once again to the situation when you asked me how did I feel about that and what was my thoughts was, that's why I went immediately to the thing with the kids. Like you said, we identify with who we are. Like you know who you are. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's those who we're responsible for that also have to see us, but they have to see the world around us. And see, that's the part that becomes more difficult, right? It's not the part that they see with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got people that look up, you know what I mean? You can just say certain things to certain people, and people will say, oh, nah, that's a stand up person, or that ain't who they are. That ain't who they are. But
Right.
if your kids look up, right, and let's just say, for instance, say dad carries himself a particular type of way, right?
You talking
You
about
go,
our actual father or just
no, no,
somebody's?
no, just in general, a
Oh,
father, a
okay.
father.
Yeah.
And he carries himself in a particular type of way. When he gets around certain people, there's certain things that he does differently, right?
Right.
Whatever it is, whether it's a person calling him a different name or
Right.
whatever, he just
Right.
switches up. It's not the same person all the time. You kind of look and go, oh, that's a little bit different. He kind of talks to me different or acts differently when he's in the company of other people.
Mm-hmm.
You start to question certain things. Oh, is this how I'm supposed to be? Am I supposed to be this way in one point, this way at another point? Right?
Right.
And you start to learn things about people. You start saying things like, okay, well, what did I learn today? Well, I know that I need to be like this when this person comes around. Because apparently my role model or my example
Right.
changes when certain things in his environment changes.
Right.
You know that you're a king, E, because and wherever you go, because of the fact that your environment does not play a role in it.
Mm-mm.
But you're also not a kid.
Mm-mm.
So a kid looks and goes, Daddy is a king here.
Mm-hmm.
but pardon my French, but he's a nigga over here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part I'm talking about when I'm saying about the situation. Call me by my name or
Right.
call them by the name. When you establish who that person is, it's different. What do they call? What do they call the person? Like in this greatest thing, one of the greatest things I ever heard. What do they call the last person who graduates from medical school?
A doctor. P.
Right. So it don't matter if you're the first doctor, name they call, or the last one.
Right.
You're a doctor.
But they,
And from the day that
they
you
fall
become
in.
doctor,
Yeah, they fall in what we call the bottom third, though. Clap it
right.
up for the bottom third, then laugh. But
But
guess what?
then,
They're still a doctor. They
right.
still completed. They
And
still.
from that day on,
You call him doctor last. It doesn't even matter. He's
it don't
still
even matter.
doctor.
From that point on, they're a doctor.
Yeah, doctor
You know what I'm
last.
saying?
That's funny.
Doesn't even matter. Like for whatever, like you know what I mean. So that's the point that I'm making. When they
Right.
become that, they earn those titles. They earn those positions.
And
Right.
guess what? Just to interact with what you're saying.
Hmm.
Not only do we know that they're a doctor, but they know. So now they know who they are.
Exactly. But see, here's the thing with that, right? They always knew.
Right.
They always had the vision.
But now they earned for you to call them that.
Now the title, exactly. They earned the
Yeah.
title
Right.
that forces you to have to respect and call them that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying in most cases in that situation, the love for what they wanted to do drove them to the point that now they're in a position where they have to be recognized differently.
Right.
It sets the example. It shows people that this person knows who they are, loves the fact of what they do to become who they are, and that person is a whole different kind of a role model, a whole kind of model. It ain't got to be a role model, but a whole different type of model.
Well, they're a model. Yeah, because they have no other models.
Correct.
But they're elders. But
Well,
I'm gonna say
yeah.
this to you.
Mhm.
The good thing about knowing exactly who you are, the only way you can know someone else, you got to know who you are first.
Right.
And if you're somebody that's trying to have a special event, it could be your celebration of becoming a doctor. It could be the fact that you just had a child that you got to be a model for.
Hmm.
Hopefully, before that, it could be the fact that you have found the love of your life and you want to tie that knot with them.
Hmm.
If you don't know how to plan that, I know somebody that do. Pay attention.
Listen, whether it's your first or your 50th birthday, that 25 years of service, if not more, retirement party, or the day that you and the love of your life share vows to become one, let Front and Center Events take care of all of your event planning needs. Sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy the show, where they truly keep you at the front and center of it all. That's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there today and get that party booked. Back to the show.
F&C Events.
Absolutely.
And I got it at the bottom of the screen right there, www.fncevents.com. Let's go ahead and clap it up. Let them know.
Absolutely.
I don't know, Free. He said, "Why I'm talking like a game show host."
That's him, man. That's
Yeah.
him. Hey, bruh. Hey, Free. You know what I mean? That's who he is, man. He can't hide it no more. Hey, peace, sis. What's going on, Miss Brown? Welcome back.
Yeah.
No. Once again, power of love.
Right.
Power of love. The love can make you do some things too, though, bruh.
Right.
Love can make you do things that you don't know that you would do.
Okay, so they got the little wild little goose chase on it right now, trying to get you to back. Get rid of them if you can, P. Get them up out of there. Yeah, love.
You know what I mean?
But like you said, love will make you do some crazy things. You know what Halle Berry told Eddie Murphy on Boomerang, right?
Mm-hmm.
Love should have brought your ass home last night. Remember that? Remember that right there? That's what it is. Love should have brought
I do remember that.
you home.
I do remember that.
Home last night. You should have been with me. Listen, man, me and Tony Braxton got the same birthday, man. That's my spirit animal on the female side, I'm telling you.
Y'all, he is doing so much better than y'all know. if you really look at past episodes, he would have had at least 2 or 3 other outbursts by now. But he's doing so much better. Speaking of love, man, happy anniversary, man. Happy anniversary, Dops and Monty, man, celebrating the 3rd year.
Right.
Time flies. Time flies. As I said earlier, may God bless you with many, many more. Yeah, man.
AP, I got them things, them comments right up on out of there, brother. They gone.
Did you?
You
I
see 'em?
hit, yeah. Nah, I said hide. I hit hide a couple of them, and I don't see them anymore.
Nah, I
You
just
know what I
deleted
mean?
them. I deleted them. Not even hide them.
Good job.
Delete them.
Good job. Good job. You
Yeah.
know, I ain't even gonna waste my time saying that whoever takes the time to create things like that,
Yeah.
why don't you find a different hobby, man? You know what I mean? Why don't you find a different? No. Okay. So, in a sense, the power of love too. Just while we're on that, love also makes you do silly things.
Yep.
Makes you do silly things.
Yep.
You know, I'm not saying that it's not a great thing, but sometimes we don't always make our best judgments.
Right.
Love is something that you always have to remember. As good as it feels,
Mm-hmm.
it's work.
Yes.
Love is not easy.
Nope.
There's always going to be something that challenges you.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, you need to make sure that you ain't around here just telling everybody you love them when you really don't.
Yeah. Unless
You're
they can
okay with some people.
they can understand the levels of love.
Right.
Like Cuz
Like
stated.
I was about to say, like Hanif was saying earlier,
Yeah, like Cuz stated.
it's
Yeah.
levels to love. The same way
Yeah.
you love your children, you don't have that same love for your homies, like Cuz
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not against that, but it's supposed to be different like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And because of that, I want to make sure once again that you pay attention to how you just throw that thing around. Whoa. I want you to do that too. I mean, you can't love on everybody.
Responsibly though. Responsibly. Weird. P was preaching, and the next thing you know, he became what was the little short lady, man? What was the
I,
little
I didn't
Dr.
become any
Roof, man?
no
You
little
was
short
you
lady.
was Dr. Roof's husband right there, man. What you was doing, man? Remember Dr. Roof?
Yeah. And, man, and, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely true.
You went to listen, you kept throwing that word love around and you went to that love you was looking for. That's what it is, right there. Clap it up for P, man. For real.
So, oh man, yeah.
Look
I
at
like that.
look at
I
Sephora
see,
down
I
there
see,
singing
I see.
love.
Music Soul Child coming through.
So many
I see it.
people
Absolutely,
use your name in
and
vain.
it does make you cray cray. So here's the thing, though. It feels good.
Right.
It feels good. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who found love, whatever kind of love they was looking for.
Yeah, what's your favorite color?
Who you talking to?
You. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color?
Black.
Black, right. I thought
Yeah,
so. I thought
yeah,
so. Because
yeah,
you just explained. You said love, it feels good.
yeah,
Makes you
yeah.
cray cray.
And
Right?
don't be throwing that thing
And
around.
don't be throwing that thing around. If I ain't ever heard a powderhead in my life, there it is right there.
So,
Then I
all
asked
right,
you what
wait a
your
minute.
favorite color was. Because
Yeah.
once you see black, that's what you do. You just fade. You just fade.
So, so
Let me bring it back, man. I'm back, man. I'm
okay.
back now. Leave that alone.
No. All right, look. We started off talking about the concept. We wanted to make sure
Yeah, let me fade
that we
off.
we, we addressed it. We addressed the quote by James Baldwin, and we
Right.
definitely shared our perspective on the examples we want to show. The kids and to those who need support.
Right.
Because the same way you can love on a child and show them, support and all those things, we can't do that with everybody else. Like great point, cuz like with your homies, like you got to battle with a person not wanting to be vulnerable. Love requires you to show a level of vulnerability. It does. Like you have to let your guard down to certain things. I don't know anybody that can be totally in love with someone or something and not release a part of their security in terms of how they feel about a situation. It's
Right.
almost like they go hand in hand. And so when you're trying to talk to your homeboy because you got love for him and you want to see him win, or your homegirl and you want to see her win, you got to battle with some of the things that sometimes, they experienced in their life. Maybe they didn't have somebody who actually supported them, encouraged them, motivated them. And trust is a big thing, once again, to go along with love. So those barriers to me are different, and it's different. That's why I believe that it's different ways that you love, like you said, for your children, you love for your homies, you have love for your significant other. I think that's why it's different, because the level of trust and the vulnerability that has to be released in order to be able to receive it is different across the board. What you
Right.
think?
No, it absolutely is. You know what I mean? Absolutely. It's just knowing the difference of the level of love. And I can't even say a level. I could say more of the type of love. You know what I mean? Still helps everything. And it's funny because different types of love have a lower volume. You know what I mean? Like you still care about, like, you ever notice sometimes you'll lose somebody that you may not have been used to be around them, seem like every day, then you wasn't around them every day, but the loss hurts the same even if you wasn't around them every day no more.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because all the
Yeah.
memories, and you
Yeah.
usually remember all the stuff you loved about the person.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's why I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. You know?
Y'all see that? We
Proud
get
of
ready
you,
to
man.
do it. Go ahead.
I'm proud of you, man. Cause it's been a good while. You left it alone, man. You left it alone. It's been a good while. Proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. Clap it up for P. Clap it up for P. I never said what he left alone. You know.
Nah. I'm good with proud. I'm good with you being proud of me.
I know, brother.
I'm good
I
with
know.
you being proud of me.
I
You know what
know.
I'm saying? Absolutely.
And
Nah,
I
I
mean
just
that.
think
I really do mean that, man. You know.
and I really do mean the fact that I appreciate it.
Proud of
And
it.
Miss
Listen, man.
Brown, you said love had you driving up the wrong way on the one way street, huh?
Ooh.
That's tough.
I'm sure that wasn't love.
So,
Might have been a little bit of water involved, but it wasn't love.
all right, so
Tell you
let's
that.
talk about these occupations, though, right? Let's talk about this part, right?
Right?
The old cliche goes: if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Well,
Do you agree?
yes, because if you do what you love and love what you do, that's
Right.
the greatest payment. You know why?
Right.
Because you're spending the majority of your time doing what you really want to do. See, people think when people go to work, they go to work for a check, right? Because the
Absolutely.
world painted the fact that we got bills and everything we pay. So the moment we get that carrot dangled in our face of, let me give you this, and you'll be set forever. But we'll deal with certain things, myself included, that make you miserable and not even really want to be there. But you thinking about, you ever notice a person complain about their job all the time but never miss overtime?
Absolutely.
Right. But what we say, time is the only form of currency. I'm calling it currency because you can't do nothing
True
else
riches,
without it.
that's right.
It's the true riches, right? So if you get to actually get paid to take care of yourself and everything you need, right?
Right.
Actually do what you love and love what you do. Yes, I agree with that. You never work because of the simple fact, you're spending your time, the only thing you can't get back, doing what you truly want to do.
It's funny, man. Most of the words that have a lot of impact
Right.
are four-letter words, right? Time, work,
Right.
love,
Right.
blow.
Yeah, I didn't agree. So it's a good one though. It's a good
I just wanted, all right, you passed the test.
Yeah.
There we go.
Nah,
About
but you
two-
know what?
about-
But you
about
no.
2 years ago, you'd have knocked your camera down.
Let me tell- Let me tell
Don't.
you this though. Let me tell you this though. Uh,
Don't.
rain. The word rain too, B.
Yeah.
No, what?
Yeah.
Listen, man. Listen.
I'm listening.
If you any song you could think about with the word rain in it
Hmm.
is amazing. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think
I
about it.
agree.
Give me like three right quick. What the word rain is in the title.
SWV rain down on me.
Yep. It's called rain by itself. So you right.
Okay. I just yeah. All right,
Yeah.
go with that.
uh
You know what I'm saying? Uh I saw you and
And
him
him
walking in the
walking
rain.
in the rain. Okay.
Okay. And
One more, and I'm gonna give you my three.
I wish it would rain.
Yeah. Okay.
How I wish that it would
Yeah.
rain.
All right, that's a good one. See, that's three right there. Now here's
Hmm.
mine. Here's mine. Summer rain.
Okay.
Carl Thomas, right?
Right.
Right. The
Right.
next, the next
I know
one,
that's right. I know that's right, sis. Candy coated raindrops. Okay, go ahead. I'm
yeah,
listening.
yeah, Candy Rain. Like yeah, another one is there. It is. Cuz just said it. My one of my favorite song. You know that's my favorite song. Can you stand the rain?
Woo!
But my
Okay, free. Okay, free. You pulled that one. The rabbit out your hat on that one.
but my sleeper song is really Ashanti Rain. Rain on me. Boom, doo, 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 Bam, bam. Well, it's the breakdown, man. Time
Yeah,
and time and
yeah,
time. I'm
yeah,
telling you, that's the
yeah,
sleeper joint. Dooka dooka doom.
yeah, yeah.
Any song with the word rain in it is amazing, man.
And it's even better if you're listening to it while it's raining.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, it just kind of adds a little bit to the effect of it. At least that's what I think.
Even Travis put it. Make it rain, rain. Make it rain.
I make it rain. I make it rain.
Fat Joe and Lil Wayne.
Yeah. We got Kurt Franklin.
Yeah.
Really? Which Kurt
Which
Franklin
Brian?
song?
Which Kurt Franklin songs support rap? I gotta come back down there to what was that? We was in Capitol Heights. You still in Capitol Heights? I saw. Come, I did do a little show. I did a little comedy. It was my second time doing comedy out there. Support was at the show. She was singing.
Second time, you've been doing comedy the last 140 weeks, man. I don't know what you talking about. Once you stop counting, like
Right.
you know what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
mean, you've been dropping your dimes and and your jewels and your wisdom.
Yeah.
But hey man, you got to love for the people to laugh, man. You got to love for the
Yeah.
people to laugh, and that's a good thing, man. So that's
Yeah.
my main thing with the whole situation about love, man. It's a powerful four-letter word,
Game.
like you
Game
said.
is another four-letter word. That we game.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. And people can game you, whatever, what I mean. But once again, you have to recognize what love is, and like I said, man, you remember, what I mean. Love does not dominate; it cultivates.
Right.
Just in essence, just to tie a ribbon on the situation that we were talking about a few minutes ago with the work thing, though, right? How the
Right.
concept is, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. I agree with it. I don't even think you look at it as work, even though you understand that it does provide, means.
I look at it as duty, not work.
I look at it as an opportunity to do what you enjoy doing for those who you enjoy doing it for.
Right.
And it's different between doing something out of necessity, you know what I mean, and something out of love.
Mm-hmm.
You lose track of things when you're doing it out of love. You count the minutes when you're doing it out of necessity.
Yeah.
You get there, you look at the clock and say, "Come
They
on,
be
let's
like,
go."
listen. They be like, listen. Can you go? You know what I mean? Do such and such. Listen, man. Listen. I only got 33 minutes left of work, man. Why would y'all give me this? Y'all know this takes
Every,
50 because it just take 15 minutes extra right now. It only
everybody
takes
doing a
15 minutes.
job that's doing a job out of necessity, they're
Yeah.
mathematicians.
Yeah.
They're mathematicians. I don't know what they want to do, but I know 37 minutes from now, somebody else gonna be doing it because I'll be off in
Right.
36 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, of course. They're not. But once again, when you doing the thing that you love, you lose track of time.
Right.
You lose track of time, bro.
Right.
It'd be 2-3 hours. How long you been doing this? Be like, man.
Right.
You look up and realize that you've been doing it so long. The sun get ready to go down.
Right.
So I believe if you never did anything that you love in your life, you should at least do one thing that you love. At least one thing that you love. Whether it's to make a living, whether it's a situation that just keeps you in a position where you're actually just content, like happy with life. Do at least one thing.
JK was good, bro.
JK, I knew my brother was coming. I knew I was gonna see.
They just clap it up for him.
Absolutely. Okay, let me see right there, Miss Brown. There's a difference of love and being in love, but people don't think so. Yeah.
I think being in love is the infatuation stage.
I think the word has enough power that when people use it, they don't always use it from. All right, so how some people live up to certain things, like love is earned, right?
Right.
So if you just told somebody I love you,
right,
that word has enough power in it to automatically put another person in a certain mindset. So, this person won't do me wrong because they love me. This person want to see me win because they love me. This person want the best for me because they love me. They haven't showed you any of those things, but they told you they loved you. And because love is such a powerful word, it does it. So I agree with you. There is a difference between being in love and having love for someone too. Right? Because everybody you got love for, you're not in love with them.
Nope.
Right? You might have love for that thing that you made. That's a great job, man. You know what I mean? I love to see you winning, man. Or sis, keep up the good work. I love to see what you're building over there. It's a great thing. But there is a difference. And I think that's the reason why. It's because we understand. When you think about love, what's the first color that comes to your mind?
Red.
Just love. Red, right? Because when you first heard about love, you heard about Valentine's Day. What's the first shape that you see?
Heart, of course.
Okay, so we were groomed to believe that every time we hear the word love, the power of love is already attached to it, right?
The power of the powder of love.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But the concept of love, like I said, like the name of the actual episode today, Power of Love, the word love carries so much weight within itself that if you told somebody you love them, it sets them at ease. Or it puts them on high alert for how they anticipate you're going to treat them.
Right.
And your love may not be like that love. Or they love. That's why every relationship is different. Oh, he told me he loved me. And my man before that told me he loved me. Or my woman before me, or my lady before that told me that they love me. But they love different.
Right. Yeah, that's why a lot of times people think women be like, we love harder than y'all. Women love harder than men. That's not necessarily true. Right. We love differently.
Right. And I agree with that too, Free. Once again, many are in love with the idea of being in love. Many have no clue what love is. Correct. And I think that if you saw it, right, it doesn't look like, even though it may look different because of the person that it's coming from or the person that it's attached to, you know what it feels like to be loved. You know, that's one feeling. Like, you know what that feels like.
Right.
So, okay. And that's a great question. Sis E, maybe you can answer this one. What is love? What is love?
4-letter word that begin with L. So, LL Cool J was hard as hell. He loved to battle anybody.
Sorry.
All right. Sis, love is whatever you really want to believe love is. But like Free said, most don't know what love is because here's the thing. If you love something, you're not going to hurt it. Right?
Right.
Now, before everybody go crazy, I know if one is in a relationship, with an intimate relationship with another, and one cheats on the other, they definitely know that if that person finds out, they're hurting them, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, this is something that the individual who did the cheating was just dealing with within themselves. Mm-hmm. And this is the person who happened to get caught in the crossfire. So when I say love, if you love something, you're not going to hurt it, I'm saying you're not going to blatantly hurt it. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you really love something, you're not going to walk up and just, bruh, I don't give a damn how mad your kids, your wife may get you. You ain't gonna never just walk up and pop somebody right in their face.
Nah.
You can't, because you love them. You genuinely, you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Absolutely.
So a lot of people will scream, "I love this," or I loved you," and then you'll do something to negatively destroy me. You possibly don't realize that you don't love me, because in love you got pain, you got hurt. But like Free said earlier up there in them comments, respect is more important than love, and love is grounded in respect. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So with that being said, if I respect you enough, I'm not going to blatantly try to hurt you, or I'm not saying I won't hurt you, because we've all heard a person say, "You hurt my feelings." You'd be like, "I really apologize. That wasn't my intentions." You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Some people may say, so you saying if a person cheat this and that ain't? Nah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you won't never get. Put it to you like this: a person. This is how I can sum it up. If you love something, you won't blatantly try to hurt it. But at the same time, because they love you and you love them, you will definitely hurt them at some point, because
Absolutely.
you have to care about something to be hurt by it.
Absolutely. Nah, I agree. All right, clap it up for yourself for that, E. See, you can do that. You can do good when you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give you the definition, Webster's definition of the word love, and then we're going to get into some questions
Right.
circled around love today. Is that cool?
That's cool.
Okay, cool. First and foremost, definition of love: an intense feeling of deep affection, right? An intense feeling of deep affection. It's so funny how that word, once again, it is it is promoted, right?
Promote it.
It is consistently described from the perspective of, like I said before, when you hear the word love, you think red, you think hearts, you think all of these different things. And it's hard to see love in all of the forms that it actually existed, because it's more majorly promoted from, I believe, an intimacy perspective or either a parental perspective. And there are more examples or more concepts of love than that. I think we can
Right.
all agree on that.
Right.
All right. So I just wanted to kind of say that that's what it was saying. You know what I mean? Free, what you say, free love is expressed through emotional expressions, consistent words, ways, and actions. Yet love is grounded in understanding. Understanding is clarity. I am clear through the knowledge, facts of who I am. I move with the wisdom, behavior that respects and honors the one I love. Love starts with liking, and in the person we love, we started with liking one thing. We see ourselves in them deep. All right. So once again, I believe that there are so many different aspects of it, and I believe it looks differently depending on who it's between. But most importantly, you got to have a foundation of what it means to you, because you can't reflect, or I'm gonna say it this way: you can't project what love is unless you know what it is to be loved.
Right. Clap it up for that.
So, not quite sure if you would call it this or that.
Nah, love it,
I
love
want to
it,
just
need
put
it,
it.
or like it. Something.
So you can call it whatever you like, but it's gonna be questions about love. Let's go.
Okay. All right. We're gonna say,
Q and A about love.
welcome to another episode of Just Questions. We really don't know if you love it, like it, need it, lust it. Who knows? What we're going to do is we're going to get to it.
Another four-letter word,
That's how it's
lust.
going to happen. That's how it's going to happen.
Wow, another four-letter word, lust. Um, so like I said, we're gonna switch it up a little bit this week, y'all. Please feel free to leave y'all answers in the comments, man, below. Uh, do you believe that love takes work, E?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay,
Absolutely.
okay. All right.
See, when
We'll
you
leave
love
it there.
something, you love
There
something,
you go.
you truly gonna put in the work to keep it. You want it to be there. Like I just said, you blatantly are not going to, like, no parent ever wants their, doesn't ever want their kid not to want them or love them.
That's right.
But it doesn't. But a parent is going to hurt a kid's feeling. But if they're not blatantly trying to hurt their feeling, it's a whole different thing, man. But go on with it.
Okay, cool. So you said yes. It does take work, and then you went into detail about, it's worth it. Right. All right, cool. How would you describe love in 3 words?
3 words. Describe
3 words.
Love. Man, woman, and child.
Wow. Okay. Like that one. Okay. Wow. That was pretty. I'm proud of you, man. You're doing good, man. He said, man, woman, and child. Okay. I'm just gonna piggyback off your first response. It takes work. It takes work. All right. Quite sure this will open it up a little bit. Do you believe in second chances?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You know why? One has to sometimes don't understand how much they care about something until they realize that they hurt it. And if they love it enough, they want that second chance to prove that I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Free said, peace, E, man. Put my lenses back on the dresser.
Yeah, get him together, bro. Get him together. Yeah, I'm proud of him, Free. He reels it in every now and then. All right. Okay. How important is romantic love to you?
Very. Very important.
I think we have to remember that romance is a very big thing in the relationships, and that that right there to me is a mandate.
Right.
It's a mandatory thing. It has to be there. No romance, and it's going to be a little awkward. Do you feel like your parents did a good job modeling love to you?
1,000,000,000,000,000%. Clap it up for that, man.
Absolutely.
Clap it up for that.
No question. No question.
Listen, and hold on. Bring it back.
Go ahead.
What was that dynamic?
Which dynamic is that, brother?
You said describe love in 3 words. Man, woman, and child. Let's do that again.
Absolutely.
Trying to teach y'all a little bit today. That's all.
We like when you it clear thoughts, man. Yeah. We just want you to stay right here. Don't leave.
I'm gonna leave though. I gotta run outside right quick. I got to. Okay. All
right. So, kind of what I spoke about a little bit earlier about the vulnerability, right? Allowing yourself to be a little bit vulnerable.
Right.
Does love feel safe to you?
Yes. Absolutely, right. No question.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I believe that's really what people want to get to. They want to get to safe love. I think they know what love looks like, but they want to get to a place where it's safe and love.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I believe that's a biggie right there. What do you think? All right. Just a little bit of a spin on the situation. What do you think makes people fall out of love?
Disrespect.
Yep. Give me three.
Disrespect.
Gotcha.
Negative emotions.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And now, when you say disrespect, you mean like in that is lying and all of that stuff falling under disrespect, or is it just
it does. The way that it does. Right. But what I mean by disrespect is calling them something they ain't. Calling them out their name. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, even if the man's not responding to it, he still don't want to be called it. And the same thing with the woman. Even if she's not responding to it, she still don't want to be called it. The next thing I had said at the respect, I said negative. What I said, negative emotions. Yep. And what I mean by that is just as a man, for a woman, or it doesn't matter what it is. if every time your partner has a dream, you talking about like yeah, like if I like for example, if I say I want to be a DJ, I want to be a tour DJ, and somebody say, "Hey, be realistic, man. You just gonna be DJing in the basement. You ain't gonna never make it like that." That make you feel like, damn, this person speaking negative to me makes me feel like they don't want the best out of me. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I mean by negative emotions because really and deep down inside what that person that's giving the negative emotions is they don't want you to elevate because of the fear of losing you.
Right.
That's really
Wow.
what it be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It be from the
Right.
fear of losing you. So
Right. Yeah. Your
that's that.
elevation can be a little bit intimidating.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? And then that's because
Outstanding.
and that comes from the fact that for my last thing, them not believing in themselves. Because the only reason why they feel like that about you is because they don't believe that they can do that.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? So those are my
Yep.
three things that have me, messed up in that,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Falling out of love. That's a good one. Those are three strong things. I just think, you know what I mean. Um, mine's would be, mine would be obviously, a person not being truthful, transparency. If there's something that I'm doing wrong, acknowledge it. The same way, if it's something I'm doing right, acknowledge it that way too. I don't need a bunch of pats on the back, but let me know we in this thing together. What I'm doing ain't in vain.
Right.
I want to believe that we both working for a greater cause and a greater outcome. So I would say definitely telling the truth, transparency in terms of how you feel, and then the last one has always been, like I said, I'm a person that is built on physical touch. You know what I
Right.
mean? So if you aren't drawn towards me like I'm drawn towards you,
Right.
even from that perspective, that could be a thing that could be a little bit
Yeah,
tough.
that would have been my number four. I'm not gonna
So
lie to you. Because,
yeah,
knowing your love language is a lot of things. Mine's all people I tell people it depends on where your mental is at the time when you're taking that test. But mine always goes in between the same two. You know what I mean? Um, words of affirmation. What is it? Words of affirmation and physical touch.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I don't know if y'all ever did that or not, man. It was actually a little pretty good little thing, man. It's 5 love languages.
Yeah.
Do like a little answer some questions, and then at the end of it, the score would pretty much reflect what your I think it's two of them. You want it's either two or
Yeah,
three.
number
You
two,
actually want
you
to.
got to know how many total? It's like five of them. The five
Yeah,
love
but I'm
languages.
saying I'm saying like
You end up with two. They'll
you
give
end
you
up
the
with two.
top two.
Right. Right.
You have a primary and a secondary love language. And
Yep.
that's what I'm saying. Every time I take the test, my primary and secondary may flip. That's it. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying words of affirmation and physical touch.
Right.
But like even when I'm talking about physical touch, it ain't always about the bounce. Point out the
That's
bounce.
cool. It's cool. Let it be about that. It's all right.
Yeah, no, it
Sometimes
could
it
be
is
about
about that.
it could
I
be
know. You know
about
what I realized about us too, not just
it.
me and you, but you know what? We live in a time now where we try not to say to spend energy or conversation on it because we don't want people to think. Now I'm not saying about you, but
Yeah,
our minds are like, oh, it's
right.
always limited. That's a man. All he thinking about. But
Yeah,
no, that's a big deal.
that's
That
a
is,
big deal.
you
That's a
can't
big
know that
deal.
a man is built up with a great, a high percentage of
Yeah,
that being of value to them, and then act like we're not going to bring it up in most conversations when it comes to it.
right.
It's just a reality.
Point out the bounce.
So all right, let's do this. What are some personal boundaries that you feel are important to uphold in a relationship? Some personal boundaries. Love, we know what love is like. Oh, you know what I mean? I'm putting 100% of me into the equation. You put 100% of you. What are some boundaries? Like, what's a personal boundary that you have? Just like, I just need you.
Not to try to change me.
Okay. Wow. Great.
Not to try to change me
Great.
and I'm not going to try to change you.
Might have to start asking the questions at the beginning of the show. Keep him level, y'all. I
Right.
think I
Not
figured
and
out the
I'm not
formula.
and I'm not
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad. Go
and
ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
not
Go
going
ahead.
to try to change you because if a person can't be who they truly want to be,
Yeah.
they got to be somebody fake for the rest of their life.
Right.
Who want to
Right.
live like that?
Right.
I'd rather be alone than have to be something that I ain't. But again, can't nobody change me because I know who I am. Don't mix that up with not meaning that I won't learn something from you, because I learn from everybody. But
Mm-hmm.
any adjustments or anything to be different would come from me personally, something that I want to do, not what somebody else wanted me to do. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that
Mm-hmm.
does not mean that I do not take that person's feelings into consideration. Because again, if I love you, I'm not going to blatantly try to hurt you. So if I know it's something that I'm doing that's really hurting you, but I know
Mm-hmm.
it's genuinely hurting you because I feel energy,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, I might adjust it. You know, don't mean I'll completely stop it, but I'll set some boundaries where, okay, I'm cool with this. Okay, like for example, people like to go out, hang out, and drink. Could you not come home just drunk and out of your mind, talking all crazy and smell it? And you can say, you know what, baby, yeah, I'm still drink, but I ain't got to be drunk. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get what you're
that
saying.
stuff like that. But
Right.
that takes something that you have to do within you. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I'm saying. And you gotta want to do it.
So I'm gonna respond to 17. Well, 17. I don't even know what number question that is. I just threw that number out there.
What?
I'm gonna respond to that question, and then I'm gonna ask the last one, and we'll entertain that one, and you can take us out of the questions. But just to answer it once again, the question was, what are some personal boundaries that you feel are important to uphold in a relationship? And so I think we kind of covered some of them dealing with, like you said, emotional, like negative emotions, and a person not being able to find a way to not channel those things on to us, right? Or to the other person. So one of the boundaries that I think that I believe needs to be in place for me is understanding that my energy, I shouldn't be at war with you.
Right.
I shouldn't be at war with you. So the boundaries of war should be checked at our front door. There should be no war in
Right.
our
We're on the
house.
same team.
We're on the same team. We may not
Always.
be in agreement with one another in this situation, but my main boundary is I am not going to war with you.
Right.
We may not agree. We may have to find a way to like admirably do what we need to do to get beyond the moment. But one of my boundaries is I do not want to war with you because
Right.
I prepare for war differently. The
Right.
things that you do in war, I'm not going to do to you. I have no desire to do to you.
Toot
So
a little
that's my
line.
thing.
That's what you do before you go
Nah, I
out
don't
there.
toot no lines, none of that. You know what I'm saying?
There you go, because you know who you are.
Nah, cross the line.
Yeah. Now hold up. This is still some. This is still a line. Just us joking right here. Did you see what I sent when Peyton Manning asked Beast Mode what was something he
Yeah,
needed before the game?
yeah,
He said
yeah.
about a shot and a half. You know what I mean? Or what? He said Tennessee. That was super funny, man. You got to you hear Peyton Manning. Also in
Yeah.
Seattle, where they got the bar right there in the locker room with Pete Carroll and them. They got you hear him say that, Pete? You
Mm,
hear Peyton Manning say, "Nah, it was in my
mm,
backpack." Oh, okay, the backpack. Okay, cool. That shit was funny, man. That
yeah,
was funny.
that was off the hook.
Yeah.
And so lastly, man, you know, because of what I just said, how do you handle a disagreement? How do you handle disagreements or conflicts in a relationship? And are there ways we can improve our communication during?
Yes.
This is
So
why I say what I say about. This is why I say what my feelings about. I'm not going to war with you.
right. So that was very the way you said it. I'm not gonna war with you, right? It actually is the best way, quick way, and I think the most summarized, way to summarize things to just show you. I'm not gonna do that with you. This is not my energy towards you ever because
Mm-hmm.
we're on the same team. As far as I know, we fall on the same team forever. That's pretty much what I see with you, and I'm the same way. But sometimes, in the heat of the moment, we cannot understand that we're naturally warring
Mm-hmm.
because our energies are starting to match and align. So
Mm-hmm.
when you said that, the whole time I might be having a disagreement with my wife, right? And I'm going, and
Mm-hmm.
I say one of the earlier days in the first time we was having disagreements, I would look at and say, man, she shouldn't have said this. She shouldn't have said that. But the first thing I said after a while, I started to think. Not the first time I started to think, and I said, well, what did I say first that made her say this? Or what did I say first? Or when she said this, how did I respond? And that's when it cut on. you got to kind of remember once you calm down and say, well, I'm gonna adjust that. So even if I don't do all that and they go off, they see that I'm not trying to be confrontational and have that same energy match that energy. And when you do that, the energy start to align a little better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's what it
Absolutely.
is. That's what it is for me. So I
Yeah.
I try to communicate different. I'm not saying I'm a pro and I'm an expert, but I've naturally started to pay attention of not trying to be a person that argues back and forth.
Yeah.
Period.
Right. Yeah. I think the first half of the question, how do you handle disagreements or conflicts in a relationship? I think you learn those things very early on.
Right. If you care,
Personally,
if you love that person, you care.
I mean, you learning is just an action that takes place just through
Right. You right.
experience. So,
Even if you lose the person, you still learn.
yeah, you still learned it. So that's what I
Yeah.
said. So like, I
Yeah.
think
You
you
right.
you kind of figure that part out early in the relationship.
Right.
It's the second part, right? Are there ways you can improve our communications during? Now here's the greatest part of that. The last word is the best part. It says communication during,
Right. Right. Yeah.
right?
That's why I said what I said. I started. I told you how I learned. I heard that. I heard you say during. I
No,
told
yeah,
you.
no, I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. When I said, so I said. I told you that I learned that me adjusting my energies and stuff is something that needed to be done because I'm not saying she was always the hyper one because I could be the hyper one. But the moment I'm starting to notice that she might get upset or got hyper, I gotta catch myself because I can't control her, and I'm not trying to control her, but I have to catch myself to show that I'm not at war with you. Let me chill because that's all I can control.
Right. So that's why I was
During,
answering it.
yeah,
Right. That's why I said it's like, so me just answering that question. The
yeah, my
first
bad.
half of the question. No, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're supposed to be doing. The first half of the question, you're going to learn through experience anyway, right? It's just
Right,
going to happen. Like you're naturally going to go to it. The second part of it is the most important part of it because if you master the second part, you minimize the first parts, right? So,
mm-hmm.
and are there ways we can improve our communication during? If you can identify, both of you, that you really want to be in a, an even playing field. You don't want to argue. You want peace, like we were talking about with the situation of war. If you identify that mutually, then you'll both start to realize individually where things really, really go wrong.
Right,
And if you identify where those things go wrong at, I think what ultimately winds up happening is you have less of those moments because you start to put measures in place in advancement before it gets there. This is why, if you ever notice, you can go into a conversation, you can be talking to yourself on the ride home, and you can have the entire conversation on how it's going to go when you get there based on the history of something that even remotely was like something like it or relative to it. You can say, I'm gonna say this, and she gonna say that. Or if I say this, she gonna feel like I'm attacking that.
yep,
And if you do that, what you do is you honestly start to work on being able to be in front of those things. But it has to be a mutual thing. So
right.
just to answer that question, I think that you can answer. I mean, you can successfully make improvements on that situation by mutually coming to agreement that we don't want a war. We actually want things to be at peace and work on
Mm-hmm.
it together. That's the last one I had for that, bro. You can take us out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep, uh-huh. That's what's up. Okay. So
Absolutely.
P,
Yes,
this has
sir.
been episode 140, and we call this one the power of love. Let's clap it up for that. You know,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
If y'all want to
Shout
hear
out to
this,
everybody, man. Shout
shout
out to
out to
everybody.
everybody. Clap it up. So, if y'all want to hear this show, or if any, believe me, this is the audio. You riding in your car, keeping your eye on the road. You can catch us at any of your favorite podcast and streaming sites like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, Red Circle, iHeartRadio, and Audible. Those just to name a few. Let's go ahead and clap it up for that. And Pete, tell them where they can see us.
You can catch us each and every Tuesday unless something comes about, and we'll let you guys know. We give advance notice. But other than that, you'll see us every Tuesday live. And immediately after the live, you can see us, the actual live again on E's page, on his Facebook page. And then on Thursdays, the show will premiere at 7 o'clock right there on our YouTube channel. And that's The Porch Podcast, on YouTube. And that's where you can actually see us each and every week.
Right.
Make sure if you haven't done so already, please, when it comes to the YouTube channel and our Facebook pages and all the other sites that we're on, our social media handles and things of that nature, if you're not already following us, please like and subscribe to the channels, man, so you can catch the shows and all the other little videos and other things that we do, because we do other stuff, throughout the week and stuff. This has been a great episode number 140, Power of Love. And,
yes, sir.
We love the power that y'all put in tonight with the conversation and look forward to seeing y'all all next week. Appreciate you, family. Y'all have a good one.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.